I wanted to compare the difference between charcoal briquettes and lumpwood using the Cobb Premier as an oven. And in order to keep it simple, I decided to do the comparison with pizzas, as I'd had a great result cooking them when I first used the Cobb. I also wanted to use pizza to make it easier to compare the result, as the starting point would be exactly the same in both cases. The Cobb setup is straightforward: original grill tray, small fire basket, the lid and the grill rack. As you can see, I've also invested in the Cobb lid holder, because resting the lid on the floor was getting a bit unhygienic. And just to keep the pizza safe and sound, a stainless steel pizza tray. In order to convert the standard supermarket pizza from a snack into a meal, I added peppers, mushrooms, tomatoes and loads of cheese. Okay, I just want to stop this video diary for a moment. I'd got as far as editing to here and using a lumpwood to cook a pizza last night, but for reasons that will become apparent, I was confused by the result and decided that perhaps I needed to try a third option. I remembered I had some of my own charcoal from when I used to do a bit of charcoal burning left in the garage, as well as a spare pizza, so I decided to try that for comparison. Unfortunately, it's only the small leftovers, so it'll burn really quickly, and I reckon I can only get about 200 grams in the Cobb. Anyway, back to the comparison, and starting off with the briquettes. It took 25 minutes for all the briquettes to be grey. I put the grill and lid on, then 5 minutes later the pizza tray, and then 5 minutes after that the pizza went in. I left the lid on for 25 minutes and it was ready, but I decided to leave it another 5 minutes to see what happened. And what happened was the base got very dry. That said, it tasted superb, and it left me thinking that Cobb was the way forward for pizzas. And I reckon I could have got 2 more pizzas out of the heat that was left. And now for the lumpwood, with 450 grams, which is the equivalent of 10 briquettes. Exactly the same process, and interestingly it took 25 minutes for the lumpwood to go all grey. My assumption was the lumpwood would burn harder and faster, so I only left the piece for 15 minutes before I took a first look. I checked again after 25 minutes, and then after 35 minutes, and eventually after 40 minutes it was done. I did already think that the Big K lumpwood was a bit slow after my Friday fish supper experiment. There was probably 1 pizza worth of charcoal heat left. I wrapped silver foil around the side of the fire basket so that the small bits wouldn't fall in the moat. Left it for 25 minutes to get going, then lid on for 5 minutes and pizza tray in for 5 minutes before the pizza went in. It could maybe have done with an extra 5 minutes, but after 25 minutes it was ready. And as predicted, there wasn't really much charcoal left over after the 1 pizza. So what are my thoughts? First, a bit of an overview. The Weber briquettes were just the best of the bunch in performance, and the pizza tasted amazing, whereas the others tasted good, but they didn't taste great. So my expectation that the lumpwood would outperform everything else was completely wrong. This is the Weber blurb. Ultimately, they seem to have got the combination just right. But which will perform best with the Cobb barbecue kit, I wonder?